What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good morning. So, this one's gonna be another one of those special ones. Just me just rambling, spacing out, talking. Seems like everybody I know is trying to get back to a bit of the simple life, Everybody's trying to touch some grass and get back to our roots. But, the world that we built here doesn't really allow for that, So, I think we're trying to get back so bad, and this whole robotics AI thing is going to allow that. It's going to lead us to it, But like I said, there's a middle ground we got to go through, The middle ground is rough. We got to find out exactly what it is to be human in times like these where, our whole definitions of what it is to be human is going to be challenged. I'm sure you guys have heard the comparisons. You are a smith, you were a blacksmith, or you are a whatever, your last name was what you do, and that's gonna be going away. And so, what are you? But that's not the rough. Well, it will be the rough part, but that's not the only. That's not the end of the story. That's where we really try to find out exactly what we are, who we are. But the middle ground is where we're about to step into. I keep saying about to because it's still building out. But that's where the turbulence and stuff lies, right? So we got a fight going on right now. And the fight is between you, sovereign citizen, so you think. I can't use certain words on here, but you know what you are. And the corporations, Can you imagine by the time that you're 60, 70, you don't have access to the stuff that makes you you anymore? You don't have access to your memories. You don't got access to your health records. You don't have access to photos or anything like that because you can't pay for your subscription. How do we get to something like that? Well, if you'd like to hear it, here it goes. This is how I think we get to that. When it comes to this new tech that's out, AI, ChatGPT moment, what am I seeing here? Like, I'm seeing these guys are scrambling, jockeying for position. They're buying up all the chips. Gamers are pissed because, again, they felt the rift. They felt the pain with the cryptocurrency miners and stuff, buying up all their memory and GPUs and all that stuff. And now it's happening again. And it ain't going to slow down no time soon. Their parts and chips and all that are just going to keep on going up in price. And why? Well, because these big guys, these corporations, see something that lots of people don't. Like, these guys see the new world and control. And most other folks just see a chat bot. It answers some questions. I get to cheat on a test or whatever. No, like, this is a civilization changer. Global coordination with a pretty much omnipresent mind. You know what I mean? We haven't had that. We've never seen that before. This is all brand new. Like, times where humanity's gotten big leaps and life standards and stuff has been when we've been offloading our capabilities onto something else that doesn't get tired like us. So you see it when the first person decides, I'm going to take something from here and I'm going to write it down. So now that means that we don't have to make the same mistakes that other people have made that came before him, because he wrote down what he experienced, or she, whatever. They wrote down. So now we have language. You know what I mean? Language now turns into books. Now everybody's perspective is in these books. And what did they do with books back in the day? Gatekeeping. Only certain people could have it. Only certain people can read. You're not allowed to. And then the printing press was invented, And so now we can mass produce, decentralize all of people's knowledge. Now we get another leap in capabilities, And then let's flash forward. You know what I mean? Now decentralized information goes to, flash forward to the internet now. Internet means global information at everybody's fingertips, right? Another leap and capabilities and knowledge just spreading. Now information that used to take months to get from one place to the other place happens like that. Ooh, quick, right? This is civilization changers here. Not all the information is good, you got to know where to look, know where to get it from, and not just get sucked into the trap of giving your attention to something that doesn't deserve it. But it's there if you want it, And so now we go from internet to AI. And you have to used to look up the information. Now you can just ask about it. Like, there was a joke, how long before you drop a man into the middle of the woods before he can make a cell phone? And, it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Because first, you got to survive, right? First and foremost, stay alive. And then, you got to figure out how to make tools. Then, on and on and on until, you got the whole iron works and metal works and computer fabs and chip fabs and stuff like that to make your cell phone. So all of human history is what it takes to make a cell phone. And you have to used to look up the information. Now you can just ask about it. Like, it mirror, mirror on the wall, But again, another giant leap. And this leap leads to global synchronization. It's changing our world. And so these guys are scrambling and trying to make sure that they buy up all of the hardware and all of the compute and stuff like that to make sure that you have to have a subscription to all of that knowledge out there. You have to ask for permission to all of that knowledge out there. And so the real fight right now is running your own knowledge base on your own computers, not asking for permission. They call it local models. Local meaning you don't need the internet to run it. But the big guys are subsidizing the models that they have, and they make them run really fast. They're really good. Oh my gosh, they're fantastic. Your local model is more than likely going to be a bit slower, but you'll have all that information. If the internet or anything ever happens or goes down, you know what I mean? Like, you got your own compiled year after year database of stuff that's important to you. Your finances, your health records, your children's health records, all of that right there on your own stuff. If we go the other way, which is where we're headed, most of us, that means that some company owns all that. Some company has your information, and some company says that you have to pay a subscription in order to have access to your information. What happens if you can't pay the subscription? Does that mean that you don't have your health records anymore? Does that mean that you don't have your financial documents anymore? Right? Like, that's the difference. And that's where we're headed. And so robotics is going to come. Okay, here's an example. Let's see if this helps put it in perspective for you. Right? You're a robot. You're walking down the hall with your robot. Your robot reaches his arm out right before you trip and catches you. Easy, no problem. And he even got jokes. He's like, watch your step, clumsy. They're a robot. Their robot's walking down the hall with you. Next thing you know, you twist your ankle and you fall down and you break your hip. We're geriatric at this point. And the robot looks down at you and he's like, oh, you're falling. Would you like me to help you up? You're like, yeah, help me up. Call the cops too. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. You only have the base plan. You need to upgrade to premium plan before I can help you. Upgrade, hurry up, upgrade, do the thing. See the difference? Your robot looking out for you. Their robot looking out for somebody else, right? All right, here's another one, right? Your robot, or your AI, whatever, robot AI, doesn't matter. Your AI say, hey, you got these markers that are showing up, and Aunt Ellie from like 6 generations ago had these same markers show up, and she ended up having tumors. Here, take this pill. And you're like, well, what's in the pill? And he's like, oh, it's Samson, Nano Samson. You're like, what? What is Nano Samson? Oh, Nano Samson is basically THC. It's potent THC. And the nanobots are going to go directly to the spot that I guide them to and make sure that they explode that cell. Their robot, right? Their robot, hey, you seem like you have an issue. You need diagnostics. And you're like, all right, well, what's going on? Well, you need to upgrade to the premium version before I can do advanced diagnostics on you. All right, upgrade to premium. Oh, you have a tumor and it's really big. You're going to need a loan in order to get that tumor taken out. Like, what? A loan? Yeah, you need a loan, sir. Would you like me to file for the loan documentation? You're like, yeah, you're sure I have this? Oh, it's 100%. And how long have you known? I can't tell you. You can't tell me how long you've known this tumor's been here? No, it's against my protocol. So your AI with your chip noticed these markers in you before anything ever grew. Their AI waited. And now you have this tumor in you and you got to get a loan in order to get that thing removed because you gotta, right? See the difference between owning your own and having a subscription-based AI? It gets pretty creepy, you know? And yours is generational, passed down through generation after generation, looking out for the family. Theirs, well, subscription, man. And so we're going to just get more and more plugged into the system. What happens when you can't pay your subscription and so your car doesn't work anymore, or your robot doesn't nanny your children anymore? If you have your own local model running on your own local computer, you're still probably going to pay some subscriptions, you know what I mean? Like, but for the most part, all of your robots and your tech and your camera systems and security and your robot nanny or whatever the heck you're going to have, it's all still going to work because you got your own local models, your own local LLMs. You know, it's kind of a really big deal. But for now, these guys are subsidizing it. They're making it cheap for you to rent and you know, pay subscriptions to have these things, or you know, they're even giving it to you for free. Get you hooked, right? That's the drug dealer motto. Got to get them hooked first, right? Oh yeah, it's convenient, it's real cool. And then they hit you with the whammy. You know what I mean? It's not like this inflation is going to slow down. It's not like these politicians out here going, shoot, I don't know if I could say that. It's not like these guys out here are going to make things any easier on you. You know, they're going to promise all sorts of stuff, but the truth is, every last one of them causes the price to creep on up. And that means you're busy focusing on survival. So, it seems like the best thing to do is to plan for optionality. So, yeah, I think that's the fight that we're having right now, folks. Like, that's the big deal. Learn how to use this stuff while it's cheap, while it's free, you know? And then while you're learning on the stuff that they're subsidizing, move it off to your own little laptop, your own computer, you know? And again, it's tough because they already know this. That's why they're buying up all the compute. They're trying to price us out, pricing us out of our own information, of our own health. Like, that's what's happening. And I know it seems like it's far-fetched and all that, but again, you know, like, look at what's already happened. Look at what's happened with, you know, the Facebook and all that. The Facebook, damn, I sound old, huh? Look at what's happened with that. We didn't know what we were getting into, but we're just volunteering all our information, and they trained this stuff on that stuff. You gave it to them for free. I want to post my pictures. I want to, you know, connect with my friends. And you thought it was just about advertisements. Oh no, that's part of it. But they learned us. That's why, they learned that, oh, I can tell that your daughter's pregnant before she even knows it. I'm going to start advertising for, pregnancy stuff. It's more than just about advertisements. It's about knowing you, us. So, that's just an example. I'm just rambling here. But that's where it's headed. And in the meantime, they're going to make it easy. They're already starting to do the whole, offering the electricity to you for free. They're about to start building AI into the houses now. Every house gets like a solar wall, like Elon Musk's solar, what's it called? Basically a battery bank sort of thing, except it's going to be an NVIDIA chip. They're going to offer to pay for your electricity. Here you go. No problems. You don't like the price of electricity? Install one of these on your wall for us and you get it for free. We could have had a lot more than just some free electricity. We could have had free education, maybe free promises to, the most advanced models when they come out. But, we weren't thinking like that. Either way, yeah, like I'm saying, they're gonna make it real fucking, they're gonna make it real nice. The robots, when they come, will be like your cell phones. They'll make it cheap, real cheap. They ain't there free, because that's not where the value lies. The value lies in the subscriptions. I had to pause it. But yeah, it's gonna be like your phones. We got these I don't know what, $1,000 phones. You know what I mean? Most people got them. You got a phone plan here. Just pay a little bit until your phone's paid off in a couple of years. Phone feels free, but that bill's gonna come every month. And you're gonna pay for it because you can't live without your internet. You can't live without your cell phone. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way the world is now. It didn't used to be that way, but that's the way it is. So it's gonna be the same thing with the robots when they come. Here, you can have it. There you go. Let it in. But at the same time, those robots are going to have all of your, data. They're gonna know you. And those robots are going to report to their shareholders. They're going to report to the cloud. If you have your own local model, you load your own family safe model up to your robot, and it's privacy. You know what I mean? Like,